Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and you might have guessed we are back in Fairyland. So this journal which I'm going to show you is a custom order and therefore it will be in my Etsy shop being marked as reserved. However, if the lady for one reason or the other does not like it, I will take off the reserved and it's open for everyone. But never mind. This one is big. It's really big. It's so much fun to make a fairy journal that there is the temptation and the tendency to really overstuff it. And because I knew that, I have prepared the spine a little bit bigger than usual. So therefore there was a lot of space to really fill it. So let's go and talk a little bit about the cover first. So the cover is, as you can see, is made from a collage of different laces in pink shades, in white shades, so in off-white, in ivory, in different tones. And I have also, of course, added various laces on the edges. This one with the roses, which I love so much, and another one which is a cotton lace. Here I have added a silk bow from Sari Silk. I have made this picture of the fairy. No, I didn't make it, but of course I cut it and I put varnish on it and I put a little bit on gold on it as well. And it's not mobile, it's not removable, it's fixed because I have sewn it on with this little bow, as you can see maybe. And also I have added this ruffle here. Yeah, so this is the spine. The spine has been on top of the lace collage. I have added this really big trim, which is also very nice. It comes in green and this wonderful pink, and it so well matches the theme of fairies. And this is the back side. Again, different laces and collaged on top of a cover which I have made, or a basement which I have made from cotton fabric. So everything has been sewn on and then of course glued on the cover. So that's this one. Let's talk about the dimensions. So she measures 22 centimeters times 14 centimeters, so without this additional lace. And the spine comes with 7 centimeters. And in inches, this means 8 3/4 times 5 1/2 times 2 3/4. She has 5 signatures and roughly 170 pages. So she's a big one. She's the biggest fairy journal which I have made so far. So the other ones, I think there have been 2 others which I made before this one. They were smaller. Okay. Her name. Yes, of course, her name. I was thinking to start a fairy series and I was thinking about this already some time ago, and the first journal of this series, which has been sold in the meantime, I called When Fairies Dream. This one will be called When Fairies Play. And when fairies play, they play with all the other magical creatures which are in their surroundings, and especially with butterflies. Therefore, guess what? You will find quite some butterflies within this journal. Let's open her. She has been closed with a double bow from Sari Silk and the other Sari Silk, which this wonderful pretty pretty flower pattern, and I open it now, so that you can have the first view into from the front. So you see, I put into it everything, laces, ruffles, ruches, flips, pockets, ephemera, everything. You will see. Let's start from the beginning. So she opens, and to one of the first friends of a fairy, and of course this is the unicorn. And the unicorn has been turned into a pocket, and on the back side there is some yeah, some plants which fairies find in the forest. And in this wonderful pocket there is a journaling card with some roses, because of course fairies love flowers. There's another journaling card which shows two ladies. I don't know if they are fairies, might be, but not sure. And everything has been put, or this one has been put in this pocket, made from a very nice trim and additionally covered with some lace. Now you have the first view on the first signature to one of the pretty fairies which you are going to meet in this journal. Isn't she a beauty? And I have further beautified her, I think, with this lace which I have dyed myself with using watercolors, and I love the shades which come out. And there are several of these ruffles in this journal. So turning it, you have the view on the inside cover, which is also very nice digital paper. And as usual, I will also name the artists, as far as I remember, the artists of these digital papers which I have used. But as I have used quite many and different ones, I hope I will remember everyone. So the next page is vellum, and then we have another view on one of the little fairies, and this page has been decorated with some other lace, which in a flower motif, and then also some lace over here. And this one fairy is also a pocket, and you can of course take it out, and there's another fairy also decorated with some lace. So on the next page you see a pocket, you see another fairy which I've glued on, and you see two journaling cards, or a journaling card and a tag. On the opposite side, two tags with William Morris design, which I think do perfectly match the fairy theme, because William Morris was also very fairy tale-like in his drawings and in his design. So this one is a smaller one and has been decorated with some vintage lace, and when you turn it, there sits another fairy. Here's some rose decoration on the side. This is paper which I have embossed and also stenciled. Fancy stitching on this page. So there is most pages, or many pages, are coffee dyed, and others are in pastel colors, because I think this perfectly matches the fashion which fairies like to wear. So I did some stenciling here with some rose motifs, and then here again I did some stamping on this envelope, and another stamping on this side, and here stamping with very tiny deer stamps, which I think is so cute. And inside this envelope, of course, there is something inside, and this is one of these pretty mushroom tags which you are going to see in this journal as well. So now we come to one of the first flip outs, and it flips out like this. It's decorated with this sari silk, and pretty fairy sitting in a fairy pocket on a rose, in a rose garden. And this one you can flip up. This is also a fairy. It stems from a book, Fairies in Winter, and decorated with lace. You can flip it up. You have another pretty fairy here, and then you have something special, I think, because I have also attached two of these really pretty bird ephemera, which I recently bought on eBay, and they are really old, although they look not that old, but they are almost 100 years old. And it's this collector's items, and you see also here, you cannot read it probably because it's in German, the cost was 8 Pfennigs, 8 Pfennige. And I have put in two of those because they are so pretty, and I love, of course, this gold etching here. Again, some lace as decoration on the page. On the next side, There is a side pocket with one of the first butterflies, and also this really, really pretty picture. It comes in this journal also in another space, at another place, and I love it because I love this purple and this green, and it's so wonderful. So it sits here, some fancy paper, some daisy trim. This is the center spot of the first signature, and I've turned this advertising. This is some advertising. I don't know for what it was meant for, but I think the colors are pretty and the motifs are very nice. And inside I have put in 2 journaling cards. One with the plants in the forest, and the other one which comes with this green waffle with the forest scenery, which has been gold waxed around the edges. Some light lace on the edge. Opposite side, next page, another journaling card. Here I did use some old book page, and I did some stamping on it. I have used here, to form this pocket, I have used some fabric which had this 3D flower, and inside there sits a wonderful fairy in the design of Alphonse Mucha, which of course those of you who have seen me or have seen some other videos do know I'm a fan of Alphonse Mucha as well as William Morris, so because it's so romantic, it's so playful, so I love it. I did another stamping here in pink. This is the opposite side of this envelope, and here is a deer stamp, and inside there is maybe the home of the fairies. I don't know. It looks nice. So this is the other page of this fancy stitched paper. And here in this flippy thing, which I like to do because you can use the full page for writing or journaling or decorating, there sits another fairy which I have further decorated on the back side with this nice colored paper as well as this satin ruffle, and I put her back. So now we come to one envelope. So there are several envelopes in this journal as well. And in this envelope there is another friend, another unicorn, and I hope they play together nicely. So, and this brings us almost at the end of the first signature. This is again this vellum, and here I have added another pocket, so it's a big pocket, and there should be something in it. And it's not, so I have to put something inside. I was sure there was something inside. Okay, never mind. Look at the pretty fairy. Isn't she lovely? I love this picture so much. And here I have used some Stamperia paper, and I have further decorated it with some nice ruffle with this gold and nice edging here. It's really pretty. And in this side pocket there is a card which comes from a Daphne journal. I don't know, Daphne magazine. I don't know whether you have it in the US or in other countries as well. It's something which we have here in Germany, and some other tag. And this one shows a pretty butterfly, and also the backside is very nice, and it perfectly matches the romantic theme of when fairies play. A ruffle from cotton. Oops, another fairy picture on this page, and another little fairy here. And this is some special paper, and when you turn it, there is of course another fairy. And I have also used one of my self-created tags. I've explained it in some other videos, which I do with decoupaging, and I have glued it on because I liked this way it's been presented. And in this fairy pocket there sits another smaller journaling card, and this is a vintage lady, and maybe she's a fairy as well. I don't know if fairies sometimes appear in human shape and form. I don't know. Okay, so this is some lace, as you can see, stenciling over here. And on this side there's another pocket, and inside this pocket there is a journaling card. On the back side you see it's pretty paper, and here you see this is a stamp of a mushroom. Again this nice waffle, and again one of these pretty fairies in this Alphonse Mucha design. She sits here in this nice pocket, and there's another pocket formed from an die-cut butterfly, which I have decorated, which I have made, and inside there's another pocket. There's another fairy. Some stenciling on this side with gesso, and also some gold waxing. And here you see old dictionary paper, which I use from time to time in journals, because I think it gives this vintage look to it, and I like it because it's really an old book. It comes from, as usual, the books which I use. The old books come from the end of the century before last century, so around 1890. Here I stamped a little squirrel, another fairy pocket, and another fairy paper. This comes from wallpaper, and I like it because it has a nice haptic and it has a nice blue color. Again, this book pages here, and then here what you see is paper which I have turned because it was a little bit torn, and I thought it's the coffee dyeing was so pretty that I didn't want to waste it, so I just turned it and glued it. And here I have another stamp of another fairy. So many fairy stamps in this journal. And again, the friend we have seen before, another unicorn. I didn't know that there are so many unicorns, but apparently there are. This is another small envelope, and in this envelope, which has been attached with this paper clip, and I have further decorated this paper clip with a nice button. And when you open it, it's origami technique, and inside there's another fairy, which I have just folded to fit her inside. So, and I put this back later. Some stamping, stenciling, and another pretty fairy, and she has been decorated with this pretty lace, and when you flip it up you can turn her out of this pocket, and then you can see her in her full beauty. And I put her back, and this little belly band has been decorated with the same lace, the same silk, hand-dyed silk, which you see here as well. So I think it nicely matches when you look on those two. So we are at the end of the second signature, and look at this pretty page from Stamperia paper, and also the backside is very pretty in this green and romantic design. Another pretty fairy. Look at her. Isn't she a beauty? And she has been decorated with this silk ruffle, and inside there's a there's a movable double-sided fairy picture. Some nice coffee dyed paper with some really pretty trim. And here we come to one of the flip outs which are inside this journal, and you can flip this out like this, then you can flip it out like that, and then you see another friend, you see another friend, and you see two stems which I did, and I thought maybe the future owner likes it and can use it for further journaling. And this all needs to be glued on again, and also this has been decorated with some fairy. And here you see another fairy stamp. Now we come to the other friends. I mentioned it before. They like to play with butterflies. And this is one of the butterflies which you are going to see, and there will be more. And this has been turned into a pocket, and inside this pocket there is another pretty fairy. And on the back side there is a double pocket and my self-created tags, which you can see here. This is another stamping, and it's a strip which I have stamped from some scraps, and it has some nice decor on both sides. Another flippy out, and this is decorated with this really pretty design paper, which comes in gold and this very pretty pink tone. And inside there is another, of course, fairy. My goodness, so many fairies, and decorated with some ruffles. Vellum paper. Now we come to the center spot of this journal, and sometimes I like to do something special on these center spots, and I tried this here as well. So be prepared for a blast of pink. And in this blast of pink I have attached 2 journaling cards with fairies. But have a look, isn't this wonderful, this pink and gold? And I think it looks so rich and it looks so pretty and so princess-like that I needed to have it there. I put the others 2 back later. This is the vellum. This is another flippy out. No, this is not a flippy out. This is just a side pocket, but it also carries a nice picture of a pretty fairy. And she has been decorated with some satin ruffles in this pretty gold tone. This is wrapping paper, which I have turned into some ruffles, and I like the design. It's so playful, it's so pretty, and I think it matches very nicely the color scheme, of course. Opposite side or next side, you see another journaling card with some roses sitting in a nice pocket. Here again I have glued on a tag, and this tag also carries a mini doily which I have turned into a pocket, and in this mini doily there are 2 mini tags. And of course you find another fairy here, and this fairy also carries something inside or something behind, and this is a nice whimsical I think you say, house, fairy house, I don't know. And all sits on this really nice paper, design paper, and has been decorated with some purple lace, very light lace. On the back side there's another pocket and 2 journaling cards, some stenciling here, some decoration on top, and another paper over there, again some stenciling with this rose motifs. Here I have added the Lady of the Forest. I don't know whether she is a fairy or whether she's an elf maybe. And I have decorated her with some leaves, and she's mobile, but I have attached her with this braid, and on the back side I have glued on some nice flower image, flower picture, because as I usually say, I don't want the metal to tear the opposite side. And here is another pretty picture of another beautiful fairy. Another beautiful fairy on the opposite side, and she has been decorated with some more lace, which comes in a cotton and has these nice waves. This is also pretty paper on the side, on the inside. Fairy, can flip it up. There's another pocket. There's another journaling card which I designed, and there's another pocket here with a small journaling card or tag, and decorated with this pretty fabric silk. This is handmade paper, which is not done by me, but I bought it when I was on vacation, and I thought it's nice, and I love the color because it's different. It's a different color than the typical hand-made paper colors. Here's another movable tag. And this is a little booklet, of course decorated with a fairy, and when you open it, it's also some lace on the edge. Then you see there are some nice things, a mushroom and another house. Some lace on the edge here. This is some fancy stitching. This is wallpaper, which I have just cut to follow the shape and turned it into a side pocket. And there's another fairy in these really pretty green tones. And I put her back so that she can live here in harmony. Yeah, this is the picture which you have seen before, and this time it's just the paper which I used. And here is another fairy, and I've added this purple lace over here because it perfectly matches the color. And when you turn it, then there's another also nice picture. And I have on the opposite side, I have used a pocket which comes also in these more brown tones, and they sit on a design paper with polka dots. And here a tag and another tag with a butterfly and decorated with ruffles. Vellum, eco dyed paper, flippy out. I made another stamp here and another lady, fairy lady. I have to cut this fairy lady sitting here. Vellum, pink paper, stenciled on the back side, and this is this paper you have seen before. Here is another nice stamp of a fairy. Fairy here, fairy there, fairy everywhere. And this is a pocket, as you can see, and there are two tags inside. And this has this really, really cute little mouse, I think, which I put on this strip of paper and further decorated it with a bow of silk. Fairy tale wishes, handmade paper. You see still some leaves over there. And this is the end of number 4. So, not yet. That's not yet the end, because number 4 also has an addition, because I added this little page over here, and you can flip this one up. It's also decorated with lace. You can flip it up. You see this pretty deer. It says nature, and here you have another tag, and it says believe in the magic. I think this is what we do when we look at a fairy tale journal. Some lace here. Some nice paper there. Also here, look at these mushrooms. It's so pretty. I love this paper. And here you can see this is some light vellum. You can open it, and this is some fern. And inside this fern, which has been turned into a pocket, there's another tag which with an owl. Fairy stamp, some pretty paper, just to flip it out like this. Maybe they like music. I think this journal, as I said, is named When Fairies Play, and I probably will make another one which I will call When Fairies Dance. Here I made a construction, and let me open the bow, then you see. So I have made 2 holes, which I have further strengthened by adding here some further round thing. And this is a long journaling card, stenciled on the back, sitting in this belly band from this pretty lace. And when you open this one, then you see there is another journaling card, which is also further decorated with some fairies and some flowers. And there's another longer journaling card. And all sits in this, on top of this really, really pretty design paper. It's from a digital kit, and I'm going to name the artist, as I mentioned. Special paper here. doily which has been turned into a pocket, and I made some coloring here because I didn't like this white. Inside another tag. It was a little bit difficult to put it back. And here I have used this really pretty paper. Made some pocket here, which I further decorated with gold lace. And inside I've used, or I've put another fairy. And she has been decorated with some gold waxing. A deer, a vellum deer, and a die-cut deer. This is the pretty coffee dyed paper which I received from my friend May. This is some nice paper which she also made with this silver bubble technique, I guess. This is what I did. I did some gessoing and stenciling and coloring. And here there is another, this is the center spot of the fourth signature, and here I have made this, a butterfly page, because you have a butterfly here. Of course you have many butterflies on this design paper. And then here is another butterfly, which I've also stamped, and inside there's a tag with a butterfly. So this is all butterflies, dedicated to butterflies. And another butterfly there. And here there's a little tag, as you can see, sitting in this side pocket. And this is something maybe a little bit special. So this is decoupage technique, but it's made on cotton. So it's really, it has the feeling like fabric. Because I Mod Podged it, and I've added this lace as decoration, and you can open it. And you can open it like this. And inside there's this really magical deer, this white deer, the king of the forest. It's not a deer, I think it's the, what is the name? Anyway, so. No, it's not that easy. So, again, this really pretty coffee dyed paper with this wonderful design. Here I did some heavy stamping, fairies here, fairies there. This is some gift wrapping paper, which I like because it has such a nice feel. I think it's cotton paper, I'm not sure. And it has a nice design. There's another stamping over there. This is this pretty paper, and this is the other pretty paper with this really nice mushroom design. We are at the end, and at the end there is another journaling card, a big one, which Alphonse Mucha designed, and I have done some gold waxing, put it in this lace pocket, and there's another envelope, and also this envelope, oh my goodness, is empty, and I will fill it, I promise. So this is the journal, the big journal when fairies play. So I hope the lady who wanted it loves it and will get it. If not, as I said, you can find it in my Etsy shop as and it will be marked no longer as reserved. It will no longer be marked as reserved, so it would be open. But I hope it finds her home as intended. So thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a nice day, and I hope it was not too long. Thank you very much. Bye bye.